it's Erika here, and I'm joined by Jordan Lebovitz, who is from Nurenberg Paris. You guys have heard them on our station. They've been in the business for 90 years. They're a big pillar in our community. Jordan, I want to talk to you a little bit. How does a law firm like Nurenberg Paris stay in business for 90 years?
Well, first, Erika, thanks so much for having us here.
Of course.
Our longevity really is credited to two things. Number one, the way we treat our clients and the way we treat our staff. And they come together in a unique sense because the way we treat our clients is very different than a lot of other law firms. We don't think of our clients as just another number or another file in our office. That's not how we want to do business. That's not how we've done business in 90 years. And the way we treat our staff is like family. And those two come together very nicely because we're unique in a sense that we can treat everybody like they're one of our own. Our staff has, a lot of our staff members have been there for over 30, 35, even 40 years at our office.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It is. It is.
What would you say is the biggest myth when it comes to personal injury?
The biggest myth is that, from one side, that individuals are not being truthful about being genuinely hurt and genuinely needing help. And, there's a myth out there that everybody is out for, a quick buck, or that everybody is just looking for an easy payday. And the truth is that we simply don't represent people like that. We see the genuineness and the good in people, and that the majority of folks who actually contact a lawyer aren't just looking for what we call jackpot justice, which is just ridiculous. They need help. They need help moving forward in their life. They have a severe injury that they need to be taken care of. And it's not just looking for a handout. It's looking for how to replace something that was taken from them at no fault of their own.
Makes total sense. What would you say then is the goal of Nurenberg Paris when it comes to representing those injured clients?
As I mentioned, the way that we have been in business for so long is by treating our clients like individuals and not like a number or like a file or a case number. We treat each case individually and want to make sure that each and every client is taken care of to replace what was taken from them. And what may be replacement value for some clients is different than others. And a lot of the ways that we make our firm unique is on each of our clients' cases, we try to establish a goal at the end where it's not just about a dollar figure, but it's in preventing it from happening again, preventing what happened to them from happening to someone else. Because at the end of the day, that a lot of the time makes our clients feel a lot more at ease in resolving their case.
Oh, for sure. I can imagine. Now, if someone is involved in an accident, why shouldn't they just accept the insurance company's settlement out the gate?
The insurance company is incentivized in getting you to settle quickly as possible. They are in the business of settling claims quickly before you know all of your rights necessarily and before you know how hurt you are. Because if they can get away with paying you $1,000 or $2,000, which may seem 24 hours after the crash or 24 hours after something happened to you like a lot of money, you don't realize that in 2 months, in 3 months, in 4 months, that $1,000 isn't going to pay for even 1/100th of your medical bills.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And from your experience, what would you say is the biggest need for someone immediately after they have a serious accident? The first
thing that I would do is obviously you got to go to the doctor. You have to get medical treatment. And that's, a lot of lawyers sometimes say the first thing you do is call your lawyer. And that's nonsense, okay? Go to the doctor, get treated, make sure that you're okay. We as lawyers aren't looking at, as I said, just looking to, represent anybody and anyone. We want you to go to get help. We want you to get yourself physically well, and then we'll take care of you on a legal basis. That's what we do.
And what is the statute of limitations if someone is involved in an accident like that?
Each and every case is different on statute of limitations. In Ohio, for medical malpractice cases, it's 1 year. For automobile accidents and other sorts of negligence actions, it's 2 years from the date of the incident. And although it may seem like a long time, 2 years especially for automobile, truck crashes, any sorts of general negligence cases, it comes up very quickly. And just because you have that 2 year period of time, you really need to contact a lawyer right away because the evidence can be lost or destroyed.
Yeah, and I know trucking is big in this area. Why is a truck crash different from a car crash? Can you explain that to me?
Sure. Truck crashes are vastly different because of the mechanism involved in the transport of vehicle weight of upwards of 80,000 pounds. You have such a vast different amount of regulations and federal regulation, state regulation, and individual company mandated regulations as to how the drivers of these commercial motor vehicles are forced to operate. And we want to protect both the truckers on the roadway as well as those involved with crashes involving trucks, because the general basis is this: if you get hit by a vehicle weighing 80,000 pounds, you're more likely to feel that impact than you are from just a regular passenger motor vehicle like, a Honda or a Toyota.
Right, exactly.
It's just a fact.
And I know you guys are big into trucking. That's like a big industry around here. But also I heard that you guys are representing some of the clients from the unfortunate Las Vegas shooting that happened. I mean, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. It's really a tragedy all around.
Awful.
We represent a variety of individuals, ranging from those who got shot to those who experienced the traumatic events there in person. And there's such a great sense of protectionism and wanting to make sure that business interests are being protected out in Las Vegas by the companies who organize this event. And at the end of the day, we want to make sure that the individuals are protected, that the individual folks who were there and who were hurt are protected from this terrible tragedy. We represent a lot of different individuals who are involved in what we call the negligent security cases. Mm-hmm. Those are cases involved where there is some sort of flaw in the protocol or the system that is set up at a premises, at someone's business, that makes it unsafe for those to be there, and especially when they knew or should have known that something like this was going to happen.
Right, and I'm sure your focus at Nurenberg Paris is to help those clients move forward with their lives. And speaking of moving forward, how do you imagine self-driving vehicles and like the future of technology affecting your business?
We all know that autonomous vehicles are the future.
For sure.
It's coming. We know it.
I'm waiting.
And it's true. And it's going to be a blessing and a curse. The scary part is going to be when there's a mixture of autonomous vehicles and self-driven, human-operated vehicles on the roadways at the same time.
Right.
That's going to be the scary part during that overlap. Eventually, in the far distant future, I'm not sure if we're going to be still driving at that time when it'll be entirely automatic or autonomous vehicles driven at the time. That's it's going to be an interesting time. We stay at the forefront of it by making sure that we're on top of all the research and making sure that we are investigating all different types of autonomous vehicle operational systems. And we do that. We have lawyers that are investigating that at all times.
That makes perfect sense. And I can't wait for the self-driving cars. I'm waiting for that one.
Yes, absolutely. Me too.
I heard it's true that you guys are real trial lawyers. Can you tell me about what that means?
Sure. There's a big difference between just having your face out there and knowing that you are willing to represent individuals who are injured versus those who actually are willing to go the distance and go all the way to the courtroom. And there's a big difference between just filing the lawsuit and getting to the courtroom to go to trial on your client's behalf. We advise all of our clients if the offer is or is not reasonable in our experience, and we have 90 years of it. And if we don't believe that it's reasonable, we ask and we prefer that our clients let us go to trial. And we're going to let 8 individuals, or 12 if you're in federal court, make the decision as to whether or not you should win your case. And we believe that our clients have that right to be in trial. And if they're not getting a fair shake, they deserve their day in court, plain and simple.
And Jordan, can I ask you on a personal level, how gratifying is it to you personally when you're able to help out one of your clients and take care of them?
That's the most gratifying job in the world because it combines two different aspects of my personal life, competitiveness and compassion. And because you can really represent a good person who had a bad thing done to them. And you can make sure to take their family from a position of, potential life-changing poverty and life-changing physical structural injury and change it for them. You can make their life just a little bit easier. You never forget what happened to you, but you can help make it a little bit more palatable by changing the way you look into the future.
Is there one case you could talk about that really stands out for you where you've been able to help somebody out?
There are so many different cases that we've represented individuals that have just really changed the course of our lives, and we've been fortunate to change their lives. One case in particular that really stood out to me is we represented individuals involved in a very traumatic plane crash that went down here in Ohio, and as part of a nonprofit organization. And as a result of the crash in our litigation over 2 years or 3 years of litigation, we were able to change the nonprofit's structure so that they are no longer able to take plane rides and to prevent something like this from ever happening again. No amount of money in the world is going to change what happened to these individuals. But what made a big difference to our clients is changing the corporate policy of that nonprofit to make sure that no one is going to get killed again in a plane crash.
Yeah, I would imagine prevention is probably one of the more rewarding things for you because you know that someone's not going to be harmed in the future.
It's true. And that's why, we wouldn't have been in business for 90 years as a firm if we didn't focus on that more than just making money. Of course, this is a for-profit business, but at the end of the day, we want to change the way that people are living in Ohio and elsewhere. We represented people from over 40 states throughout the country, and we want to make sure that prevention is more important than just profit.
And I want to ask you too, is there something about the spirit of Ohioans and certainly Clevelanders that makes your job even more rewarding for you? There's a lot of hardworking people in the city. For
sure. I mean, Ohio in general is really, we like to consider ourselves the face of the nation because Ohio, as we all know, is one of the biggest, if not the biggest swing state when it comes to elections.
Yes.
This is the testing ground for many new products and product development throughout the country. Ohioans are really, a lot of times middle of the road, blue collar, working class individuals. And we're really fortunate to represent kind of a cultural niche part of the country. It's really it's a blessing for us to be able to do that.
That's a perfect answer. I love Cleveland, love this city, and I love that you care so much about the people here. And I want to ask you too, if someone needs some help, something has happened to them or a family member, how should they reach out?
First and foremost, we're always available. Our families don't always like it, but we work 7 days a week. You could always reach us on the phone or by email or on our website. We're really in constant communication with our clients, and we're available at any time.
Well, thank you so much, Jordan. Congratulations on 90 years in business at Nurenberg Paris. And good luck to you guys in the future, and can't wait to see what you do.